Hey, Ed, Frank, Giggles. How's everybody doing? Good, I hope. Hey, Mark White, how's it going? Ed Hessick, how you doing? Brenda. Hey, Jim, how's it going? How's everybody doing this evening? It's Tuesday. It was kind of a half-ass kind of cloudy day today, and it's still cloudy, as you can see here. Yeah, Jim, hopefully you're feeling better. So, just relaxing most of the day. Yeah, that's good for you, Jim. I don't know where my boondog is. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Oh, there's Booner. What you doing, Boone? So what are you up to, Mark? Just hanging?
Yeah, I've just had my tea. I was just waiting on you coming on, watching Russ 51 Drones' video on the new Mavic 4 Pro.
Yeah, I saw that. It was pretty much just a promotion for DJI, which I don't have a problem with, but he what did he say? How long has he been flying it?
Couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They all-
There's another one out there they've been flying since last fall. So
They always get the new ones a couple of weeks before they're released, so they can put the videos together.
T and Company Giggle says tea and crumpets for Mark.
No. Salt and pepper pork chops, mushrooms, and a grilled tomato.
Oh, there you go. Here comes David, Birdman.
Hello, David.
Hello, guys.
What's new and exciting with you, David? Anything?
Yeah, finally happened.
What?
I won the lottery.
How much did you win?
£3.
Oh, there you go.
Fucking soz learn it. I get a text message to say you've won on the lottery, and when I fucking checked it, it's like £3. Won't bother me. The fucking ticket cost me £2.50.
They gave you your money back, basically.
Yeah, 50p profit. Hey TJ, hey Jim.
I don't think I won anything.
My donations are finally coming in.
Oh, are they?
Promise, yeah.
Are they getting that all sorted out for you?
Yeah, we're at 382 at the moment. With another £100 promise, but it's an if and but. The hotel is booked. The tower is booked.
Oh, good.
And the finale, as we shall call it, yeah, is booked, and they've booked us VIP center stage front row tickets. It's like, no, bring me back.
No, nobody won the jackpot because it's gone up from 114 to 129 million.
No,
for
nobody won
Friday.
it.
I don't even think I won anything.
Go and buy a packet of gum. Where the hell do you think I'm shopping, TJ?
Oh, I did. I won something.
Well, how much?
Same as you.
Well, put it together, we're £1 up.
Yeah. No, it cost me a tenner.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you spent 10 and
down.
you got back 3? Wow.
Yeah, I'm £7 down.
Oh, if it helps, Mark, bought a scratch card. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Gave it to Laura. I was like, I'll have the lottery ticket. You can have the scratch card. And she won a tenner.
Typical.
Brenda put in the chat, David, please let me know how I can do PayPal.
I had
right.
44 and 50.
Brenda, I need to ask, do you want to donate via Just Giving or GoFundMe? Or do you just want to send me a direct payment that I can pay on for you? Yeah. Which either way I'm happy to do. I will send you proof that it's all been paid on and everything else. If that's how you want to do it. I'm more than happy to do whatever you need. But I need to know which way you want to do it, then I know how to explain how to do it.
No, stay. You stay. Come here. Come here.
I got given a battery pack today, just a standard battery pack.
Uh-huh.
And it's been charging for nearly fucking 5 hours. It's at 82%. When I started, it was at 75%.
That's not good.
It's not. But it's not hot or bulging or anything, so... Or is it bulging?
Depends on what you're charging it with.
Standard Samsung. It's an old Samsung, but an old Samsung plug.
I had to go get Boone in because according to this camera, it's raining out there right now. And
Direct payment.
And he is damp.
Right.
And we've had glorious sunshine again.
Let me...
Well, sunshine weather there, David?
Absolutely bloody steaming today.
Oh, wow. It's 70 degrees here, but light rain.
They reckon it got 27-ish.
Yeah, it was quite bloody warm today. Da, 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 da.
What is it now?
So, did you get what Brenda
Yeah.
said to you, David?
Yeah, I'm just making sure I get all the information correct before I.
Yeah. It's 20 past 10 and it's 57 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow. So you're getting a heat wave then?
Which is 14 degrees centigrade. So it's dropped to about half the temperature it's been during the day now that it's night.
How do I get my freaking username on PayPal?
Your username's usually your email address.
No, Justin said it's an app. Hold on.
No, you can still use your email address.
You can?
Yeah.
All right. Log out. Go to log back in, and I'll copy my email address. Right. Here we go. So, where's that thing?
I got two pop-ups over here. DJI Mavic 4 Pro review. It's from Air Photography, and then DJI Mavic 4 Pro versus Mavic 3 Pro. Everything is new, and that is the Drone Creative.
That's the Drone Creative is Matthew in Ireland.
It popped up on the bottom of my screen. It's like
Yeah.
Shorts, you know.
The air photography is Sean in Canada. Drone Creative is Matthew in Ireland. There are lots of things it can do better, and some things it can do that the Mavic 3 Pro can't.
Yeah. Well, the thing of it is that if the camera makes that big a difference to you, I'm just posting video on YouTube, and I don't need
Yeah.
100K camera and all that kind of stuff. And
well, the main lens will do 6K video.
Yep.
And 50 megapixel photos.
Justin, has he sent me? Yeah.
I don't do any photos.
Right. Also, Brenda, that link I've just sent you is the direct PayPal for me. But if Justin sent you the username, use that one. And that way, it's in. Right, what's Dominic said? Hello, everyone. Happy Mavic for all day. Shut up. I'll be in later. Don't bother you coming in about Mavic 4.
Have you seen the price of it?
No, but I've heard about the fucking price of it.
David, Brenda says that
Justin's sent her an email.
Yeah.
And I've sent her the PayPal direct link. Anyone can use that direct link, by the way.
Okay.
Just let me know that you've used it and make sure you use friends and family, not business. Yeah, because business will sit there for bloody weeks or months or whatever.
You'll get charged fees for business too. You won't.
Yeah. So friends and family. And if anybody asks, I'm your brother from another mother and another father. Well, we don't go down that route.
It does say friends. It doesn't have to be family.
You didn't get it, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone asks, I'm your brother from another mother and father.
Yeah.
Right. Here we go.
Yeah, the Flymore kit is £2,459, which is like $3,270.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much it's going to cost them over there, whether the tariffs make it more expensive than that or what.
Oh, by the way, Mark, I'm going up the tower at 2:30.
I think you said that before.
Yeah, they've. I got given the option 2:30 or 3 o'clock,
All right.
and I thought, you know what, 2:30 it is.
Yeah.
It gives me a bit of time to come down and go and get something to eat. Because nothing beats being dressed like a woman in McDonald's in Blackpool.
That got one of the backstreet chippies.
I'm going up no back street in Blackpool dressed like that. Hell no.
There's a chippy down the road from the tower. Around
no, there's quite a few in there.
That's a Yorkshire chippy, and they actually do a proper, what the Yorkshire people call a cake butty.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest.
A
I am
piece-
not going to know Yorkshire chippy because they're tight-fisted.
A piece of fish, a scallop on a buttered berm,
Yeah.
rather than a fish cake. They actually use proper fish and a scallop potato.
Well, I'll have the vegetarian option on that. So that's just a barn cake, isn't it?
Probably just a barm cake with a scallop.
No, the scallops are fried with the fish.
Yeah, that's true. So are the chips.
No, the chips are not. Chips have to be cooked separate from fish for allergy reasons. Scallops are not because some scallops are fish. Well, not scallops. Oh, I don't know.
A scallop is a shellfish,
Yeah.
but a scallop potato is just a slice of potato with batter.
Scallop potatoes, yep. David, you've had scallop potatoes before, haven't you?
What we call scallop potatoes, where it's just a potato cut into
Very
chunks.
thin slices and then cooked, yeah.
Yeah.
Only we cook them in batter.
Yeah.
Well, the scallop potatoes here are made in the oven and baked.
Oh, well, they're just roast potatoes to us.
No, I know what he's on about.
Yeah, it is scalloped, but it's a roast potato. That
It's a roasted scallop.
Yeah,
potato.
rather than a deep fried one.
Well, scallop, not scallop.
Scallop.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a scallop. Scalloping is just another term for sliced.
Yeah, it's quite funny as well. Funny goes up. Yeah, to sort out the final finale. Yeah. And the guy said, we've been trying to email you, but your email address is slightly wrong. So I gave him the correct one, and it's obviously P&E. Yeah. And I said, I won't tell you what it stands for. Yeah. But you being from Blackpool, I'm guessing you can understand. And he went, yes, as a Preston North End fan myself, yeah, I don't understand why you're coming here because we've seen a load of pansies dancing around all season.
Yeah, Jim says the scallop potatoes in the oven with pork chops all being baked together.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's different to a scallop.
What we call a scallop.
Slice of potato. But a scallop over here is a slice of potato dipped in batter and deep fried.
And Ed he makes his
everybody here
in the fry pan, cooked in chicken stock, onion, and near the end I put cheese in it to call them cheesy potatoes.
Right.
Well,
the scallop, the fish, and the scallop.
That's potato if you're using cheese with it.
Oh yes. Right. But next question.
Cheese goes good with everything.
a scallop is the potato and a scallop is the fish, or is it the other way around?
I don't know.
They both spelt the same.
Are they?
Yeah.
And Don says scallop potatoes are cooked as a casserole with milk, cheese, and sauce.
No, that's potato gratin. In fact, no, that's dauphinoise potatoes.
Big Homo. Sorry traffic, over.
So many different ways you can cook potatoes, and they all have different names.
Oh, went into farm food today, Mark.
Hmm?
Went into farm food.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You know what you do in farm foods, everything's fucking cheap, so you just chuck it into the basket and then you realise when you get round there, you're like, oh fuck, how am I gonna get this home? And the other question is, how much am I gonna pay for this? Yeah. She put it all through. Yeah. Looking on the till, she went, it was going off, it was like 140 quid. I'm like, fucking fuck. And then she went, do you have your bonus card? I was like, no, I've got the voucher on my app. Just took the voucher off. Yeah. Came down to 57 quid. I was like, what?
Less than half price.
Yeah. That was like,
Good for you. Your lucky day.
Yeah. The only slight problem was getting it in the freezer. It was like,
Yeah, I went to Iceland today and spent 83 quid.
that is very easy in Iceland lately.
Yeah.
I am not liking Iceland at all with all this branded shit. TGI potatoes, TGI this, TGI that.
Didn't buy any branded stuff
It's hard to not
other
say
than the toilet roll and the washing capsules. Like 8.5 quid for a bag of washing up capsules, 8.5 quid for 24 toilet rolls.
What I will say, Donald, is Mark is in the UK and you're in America. And we all know we all cook differently.
Yeah,
where's Captain Joe?
Yes, but the thing is that all around the world, chefs call them the same thing.
Well, he might be in the hospital. He and Johnny went flying today.
Oh, God.
No, Joe's gone taking some pictures of a spring, what did he call it? Spring practice football.
Oh, football. Okay.
Yeah. Said he'd be late.
I thought maybe he did the drone thing again in the arm, different arm this time. So now they match,
Yeah.
Oh, and we could be moving before our wedding.
You what?
We could be moving again before our wedding. Because the guy from the council to do the inspection was supposed to come tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he came today in the middle of, as soon as I got on with all the shopping, he's like, bang, bang, bang. I was like, what the fuck? Open the door, he's like, oh, well, you're going to have to fucking climb over my food. You can fuck that. I ain't putting it away now. Yeah. He went outside. He looked at the brickwork. The building has shifted 2 inches. Swiveled.
Oh, dear.
So it's a safety issue, right?
Well, considering the other block around the corner that they condemned and are getting ready to knock down, that only shifted 2 centimeters, and they condemned it. This is shifted 2 inches. The only difference with this block is there's no cracks or anything because the whole building shifted rather than just part of it.
Wow.
Oh, the whole raft foundation's rotated.
Yeah, everything.
What fun.
I said to him, well, next time you come, I'll be facing the other direction then.
Well, it's just tell him you had to fit an actuator to make it.
So what did they tell you that they would do?
He's now got to go back to the council with a survey report. He actually did some repair work. so to protect it from the rain, he's going back to the council, and
They're going to raise the rent because he's got a better view now.
yeah, yeah. No, that's what he said to me. He went, "Don't worry about it." He says, "In a couple of months' time, you'll get a better sunlight."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to go back to the council now. They'll have to have the planning committee meeting, and then they'll decide what they're going to do, and probably fob us off for a bit. And
I think it'll have to go through housing committee first.
I don't think we have it. Well, we might do. I don't know.
Yeah, they do. All councils have got a housing committee, a highways committee, an environmental development committee, a planning committee, and a social services committee.
We don't do BBC over here, Donald.
What you want?
Well, we do.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the
What?
last time I ever
Who
watched,
wants to go out again? Be right back.
I'll tell a lie, the last time I watched BBC was when Kate was round and stayed. And then the next morning when she got up, she was watching This Morning or Good Morning,
Well, I don't.
or whichever one it fucking is on that channel.
Yeah. Well, we refuse to pay the TV license, so we don't watch live TV.
Ah.
But it is quite funny when the TV license officer comes to the door, and I say, "You can come in and check, but if you've got anything related to BBC on your phone, I want it deleted before you cross that doorstep." And I went, "That includes your capita data." And he goes, "Well, I can't do that." I went, "Well, you can't come in because I've got no TV license. Piss off." I've even got a sign up at the front door saying no BBC products past this point. Fuck them.
Now, in some scenes, that can mean a totally different thing.
Did it go for it? Just let me check. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, Dave, on
yeah,
the swinging scene, that's got a different connotation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Brenda. Yes, Brenda, it came through. Not sure what it was in dollars, but it was £18.01 in UK money. I will now pay that on.
What's
Just
£8.01 in US dollars?
18.0079 is about $25 and 57 cents.
There you go, 25.
Right. So yeah, there's £18.01. I'll pay that on now. So you'll see. I'll send you a screenshot of that. Or what I would do, let me just go.
This fucking ECG monitor keeps beeping at me.
Just give me a minute. Let me get my paid fundraiser. Right, we're going to go on Just Giving and do it that way.
So far, one of these plumbing sensors has come off about 5 times since they put it on. I have a feeling they're going to tell me I've got to do it again.
No, right. Let me just. I don't know if this is going to share. Share. Right. It was 18. Can you guys see that? 01.
Don't know, I'm not looking at it.
Change the name to
Yes.
Brenda. Right.
Yes, we can see it.
Get the message.
Good evening, Donald.
Sod off. Enter custom amount. Got enough out of me tonight. Continue. So there you go. £18.01 is what Brenda's just donated. And I will click that. There you go. No, pay with balance, you morons. Pay with balance. Continue. And spin. There you go. It's done. So
Anyway, don't believe everything the BBC say, Don. They're down south.
right. And let me just close that. Okay. So now let me share the GoFundMe page again. If I click refresh, there you go. It's gone up. Look at all them fucking donations. That was a £50 cash donation somebody gave me to pay on. And that's Brenda's donation there. Let me let Captain Joe in. So there you go, Brenda. Your donation's on. Thank you very much for your donation. Much appreciated. Or let me just say, not appreciated, because Brenda's just donated the £18. That means now I 100% have to wear the dress.
Oh, by the way, Mark, we don't believe anything you Yanks talk about.
Yanks. You're the Yanks.
You Yanks,
We're the Pommies.
because y'all always yanking our chain about aluminium and everything else.
So
Damn,
thank
it's
you,
hot.
Brenda. It's,
not my
Brenda,
fault.
it's not
No.
about the amount. It's just a donation. It's good cause.
No.
You're now going to make me wear a dress. Thank you very much. Quick
Hey,
work.
Joe.
What?
Yeah. So we're
Joe,
good.
it's more your fault than it is ours. Don't know whether you noticed, but all the names of those different types of potatoes and the way you cook them are French.
Like freedom fries and stuff?
No, Dauphinois,
Scallop
Gratin.
potatoes.
Forget it.
Gratin is French for cheese, so it's just potatoes and cheese. Dauphinois
Yeah,
is
potatoes are rotten. That's what it is.
cooked in a cream sauce with garlic.
Yeah, my mother one time told me when I was a kid they were having potatoes au gratin. I said, I'm not eating any rotten potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot, that sounds good right now. Oh, I went out there. I got the call while I was shooting Johnny's picture with John. I mean, the drone with Johnny this morning. My editor says, "Did you get any pictures this spring of Mandeville football?" I said, "No, I've been avoiding heat."
So
He says,
thank you,
"Oh, I
Brenda.
need some today. Today's the last practice."
John.
Show us your other arm now, Joe. Did you double it up or what?
Can't you not see? He's chopped his arm off. Look, oh, there it is.
Oh, you went without flying today. Check your other arm.
That's good.
Got
I
a
landed
question.
it in front of the car and I was in the back.
Oh,
Russell, what have you been?
any trouble landing?
No, because the optical avoidance worked.
Russell's been going through my drawers. Look, he knows I'm going to be wearing silk panties.
Wait a minute. I don't want nobody going through your drawers.
Strangely, I'm actually wearing pink shorts.
Joe watched Russ's video on the Mavic 4 Pro today, and it actually picked up and stopped in front of a sunflower stalk.
Yeah, I saw that. I did. I saw it.
Yeah.
I told him, I said it was a great video, great information. I said, but for 34 minutes, there was 13 commercials. Too much.
Yeah. I didn't get any commercials. Mind you, that's because I'm still paying for, YouTube Premium. I haven't cancelled it yet. I've got till the 17th to cancel it again. But I still haven't downloaded my mum's funeral video off David's channel yet.
Well, I found out today I don't miss a beat. I'm out there at the practice, right? And I'm standing there talking to my editor, and I'm telling me I got a picture of him, and this and this. I said the new guy quarterback coming in. I said he's going to be probably the best quarterback on the team next year. And we're talking and all this, and one of the kids is I hear Mr. Joe, hey Mr. Joe, and I'm ignoring him, right? So I'm standing there and they're practicing. He goes, Mr. Joe, and I turn around, looked over, and he goes, for a pose. I said, bitch, practice. You ain't here for pictures. You're supposed to be practicing. He missed the beat. Joe, my editor, Joe, looked at me and he goes, damn. He said, that was quick. Yeah, don't come and ask me to take pictures. I'm gonna take a picture if you ever want to take a picture. You're out here practicing. Don't worry about pictures. I will tell coach. But I mean, first thing I said is, bitch, listen to me.
So what price is the Flying More over there?
The last thing I saw was gonna be like 3,800. Stop. But
Well,
but it's
right.
3,800 what it should be. It's 4,700 on B&H.
Over here, it's £2,459, which is $3,270.
Yeah, that's what we're figuring it's gonna be about. It'll be about 3,200 when it's all said and done. Because the tariffs changed tonight, and I think that's what's doing that. Stop it now. I gave you your treats. Go eat your dish.
In fact, the Creator, I think, was £3,200, which is
Yeah.
like $4,300. That's the one with the 512 SSD.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the Air 2S.
You can actually fly it if you put that thing in FPV mode so that it banks.
Oh no, I don't like it banking.
No, I mean the Mavic 4 Pro. You can, they all do it. You can put it in FPV instead of follow, and it will actually make the horizon tilt as it goes around the corner.
Yeah, it'll make you sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them do that.
Yeah, but because the gimbal rotates a full 360 degrees, you can actually then put a flip in it so that it looks like you're actually flying an FPV.
Well, wouldn't you be better off instead of buying that for $4,000? Buy a friggin' FPV drone and fly that?
Damn sight
No.
hard to fly, but yeah.
No, that's probably the best drone that they've ever made. It's freaking crazy.
It is. It'll do.
It could be put in hibernation mode or it's called. He said it was sleep mode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sleep mode. It stays in like a hibernation mode for an hour, where it just stays open. It stays turned on, but doesn't do anything. So you can take it out. You take it out. Put your controller down. You pick your controller up. The controller is already connected to the drone with all the satellites. You open up the drone, and then you just take off.
It took him 20 seconds from opening the zip on his bag to taking off.
Yeah, 20 seconds. And it was ready to go. I'm telling you, it looks like it's crazy awesome. I'm hoping DJI feels sorry for me and sends me one.
And 55 miles an hour, although it's claimed to be 60. And
I'm not going to go that fast.
He got 43 minutes out of a battery.
Well, that's good.
Which he reckoned, I think, was 85% of what they claim it would get. But then again,
didn't he say that was the highest percentage he's ever seen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he said, after it's been cycled 10 or 12 times, its efficiency may increase it to over 45 minutes.
Yeah. Where I should put these things.
It does look nice. But
Oh, that's
of
nice.
course, just to make it more awkward for us in Europe and Britain, it weighs more than a kilogram. And anything that weighs more than 900 grams is in a different category.
Yeah.
So even the Mini 3 Pro, which is 904 grams, I think, is in a higher category, which gives us less places we can fly it. And he was picking up cars 900 feet away, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got a kick out of the fact that that sunflower seed or whatever it was, well, it pushed it full throttle towards it. At the end, when it got there, saw one little bitty stem.
Yeah.
So you know that would never hit me.
You hope. They'll send you one and they'll program it into it. It's okay
Yeah,
to
probably.
Lance, did you see what Lance put in the chat, Joe?
Actually, I've got the chat. I got to go find it. Hold on.
He says, Paul, the Air 2S is a rock of a drone, almost as good as the Neo.
Well, he's disillusioned. I know that one.
He's got to take his wife to at 4 a.m. To the airport so she can catch a flight down to Southern California, so that she and the daughter can come back, and he's got to pick them up at the airport like tomorrow night.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got a portable ECG on that's got to stay on for 24 hours, which has 3 pads, one underneath each arm and one above me right sternum. And so far, one of the pads has fell off 5 times since 2 o'clock this afternoon. I have this strange feeling that when I give it them back tomorrow and they check it, they'll say, something went wrong, we need to do it again.
Yeah.
Hold on. Son's calling. Hold on. Hold on. Coming.
In fact, I'm not taking it back tomorrow. I'm taking it back on Thursday. Screw.
They got 5, 6, 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds out playing baseball in the schoolyard. They throw them the ball and they drop the ball and
Mm-hmm. The rain. Yeah, our kids playing baseball in the rain.
well, it stopped raining now.
Yeah.
But it's cloudy and dark, as you can see.
Well, I know it's dark here, but it's pitch bleeding black here.
Well, yeah, but you're 5 hours difference in time.
Yeah.
So it's almost 11 o'clock our time there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
6 minutes to midnight. 10 11.
11. Yeah.
Oh, somebody in Tesco's decided to write dickhead on the Kellogg's cornflake boxes. So Tesco's had to reduce them down to £1. 100 kilogram boxes of Kellogg's cornflakes for £1. I was like, it's only a
Right.
bit writing. I'll have the fucking lot.
Would you like to say that weight again?
Not 100 kilogram, 1 kilogram. Yeah, 1 kilogram. What the fuck? Yeah, 1 kilogram.
Yeah, 100 kilogram would be
Yeah,
like,
I get that. It's
Like-
because I'm looking at the other
Wait,
box.
no. Yeah.
They had a small box of Tesco's cornflakes, 100 grams.
well, it'd be 15 stone, near enough 220.
Brenda, I didn't know they had a mouth swab DNA testing for animals. I know that people.
Yes, they do.
Well, yeah, it's bound to be pretty much the same thing. All they need is
Huh?
the saliva.
And also, Dr. Pepper cans. Normally £4 for 8.
It'll tell you what breed they are by the sequence in the DNA.
And I
And
got 6.
It can even tell you which country they're from.
Yeah. 16 cans of Dr. Pepper for £2. Don't let him in. He's been talking to Laura already.
Oh, it's Justin, is it? Hello, Paul Murray II.
Ever call me that. I know how to turn my phone on, okay?
Yeah, don't ever call him that. You don't want to insult Paul.
What's up, Brenda, Jim? Russell, Lance,
You can't have cornetto.
Edward, how's it going?
No.
I didn't get any cornetto. I got a 48 pack of Tesco's own Weetabix.
Oh, I've had good bargains today because the cornettos were juiced down normally £3, proper cornetto brand, and I got 6 for £1 in Farm Foods. 16 cans of Dr. Pepper for £2.
Obviously, not the Mr. Whippy cornettos because they're only 4.
I'm fucking pissed. I didn't get paid today, and I usually get paid 2 days early.
Right,
me
now
and
Justin's
David
here.
got paid at midnight, just after.
Right, now Justin's here. I have some videos to share.
No, my shit randomly comes in like in the afternoon time. It's like
I
I
think it went going about 1:15 midnight, wasn't it? Something like this morning. Our disabilities, we get paid on the same day.
Yeah.
Well, normally I get mine on the 13th if I get paid on the 15th, but I didn't get it today, so I'm assuming I'll get it tomorrow.
On
If
my
that
work,
fucking bird turns down my microphone once more.
my works pension I get on the 1st of the month.
Doing a mouth swab DNA test and send it back with a note to. Oh, you're sick, Donald. You sick bitch.
No, what's
He said, where do you see it? I tried doing a mouse DNA mouth swab test and sent it back with a note. Too many DNA samples detected. Please use mouthwash and resubmit. Sick bastard.
You can't have ice cream.
I don't mind pit bulls, Brenda, but I mean they can be a little bit more aggressive of a breed, but it ain't always down to the owner. Sometimes dogs are just dickheads.
They're one of the banned breeds over here. You're not supposed to have them.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, there's a lot of dogs, though. I've met owners that treated their dogs like fucking kids really well, and their dog was just naturally mean. It was nothing they did.
Mm.
Some dogs
Oh,
are just
Lance.
assholes.
Hey,
I've seen
Paul.
golden retrievers that were mean as fuck.
So, the sheriff of Florida, Winter Haven, Florida,
Uh-huh.
has uploaded some video footage of an incident with Justin on a bus. And
Let me pick my
Hold
phone
on,
up
let's
before you
see
play.
it. Because if it's body cam footage, that don't exist here. Let's see it.
yeah, you ready, Mark?
No.
You ready?
All right, come on. Oh, for fuck's sake, I know.
Yo,
That's some funny shit right there.
drivers ain't above the law. Rolling stop does not a stop make, my friend. Miss me some.
So,
Three left
rolling-
turns do not
is
a
it
right
rolling?
turn signal make, dip.
a rolling stop, what you
See, little ass wipe.
This is
what we
Justin.
call a give way.
Pull the gun on him at the end.
What were you saying, Mark?
Is a rolling stop what we'd call a give way.
A rolling
Whereas if
stop
there's
is
no-
where you're
If there's
supposed to.
nothing coming,
The
you can
vehicle's
just go.
supposed to come to a
No,
stop.
you can't just go. It's illegal. You're supposed to stop at a stop sign.
Yeah, a stop
But-
sign, yeah, but we have a give way sign as
Well,
well.
we call it yield. That's
Yeah.
a yield.
Yield.
No. What they call a rolling stop here, what that means is people that roll through stop signs and don't stop.
All right.
Well, or the nationwide term is a California stop.
Right. And I've not finished with the Florida footage because when your doorbell rings, yeah, it's good to have a ring doorbell for this particular reason.
What has he been sending? Yeah.
Oh, I'd have me some gator boots. I'll tell you that.
Oh, it's an alligator?
Yeah,
it's
it
two
rang the
of 'em.
doorbell. At least he went up and rang the doorbell.
Oh, look at him.
That bitch come through the window. I put two right through his head.
It's just the fact it rings the doorbell. It's like, what the fuck?
That's Florida for you right there.
That's my entertainment for the night.
There's a guy down here in Florida who's real famous for catching them, dude. He don't give a fuck, dude. He just jumps right on top of them. This dude's nuts. Is it really not that hard to like take down by hand if you know how to do it? Like literally, you jump on the back of their back and then just put your hand down on their mouth. They can't open their mouth. Their mouth can literally be held closed by like a single like zip tie. Like they'd have no muscles when it comes to opening their mouth, just closing it. So you can literally hold their mouths closed with two fingers and they wouldn't be able to open it. That's why they always use like duct tape and shit to duct tape their mouth shut, because you only have to go around a couple times and that's it.
Yeah, I think it's the crocodile. It's the other way. It opens its mouth really fast. It can't close very fast.
No, it can close fast. It can't open.
The alligator, one of them opens fast and one of them opens slow. I don't know which one is which.
I'm talking about the gators down here. They can't open their mouths. Like you can, like I said, you can literally hold them shut with your hand. I mean, once they start thrashing around, you're probably going to lose that grip on them. But that's why a lot of times you'll see them jump on their back and then they'll push down on their mouth with both hands. And then somebody will come in front of it and they'll tape it with duct tape. A lot of times they just use duct tape or they'll use a big ass like heavy duty zip tie. Like one of the ones like the cops use for handcuffs and shit. But they're a hair trigger though, closing their mouths though. Like that. Remember that guy that got his head stuck? That performer that got his head stuck in that gator's mouth. They won't react when their mouth is open if nothing touches the inside of their mouth. They'll literally just sit there with their mouth open. But he stuck his head in there, and one little bead of sweat dripped off his head onto the gator's tongue, and that was it.
Well, that'd be a good reason to carry a bowling ball around in Florida. The gator opens his mouth, stick a bowling ball in there.
They will not. Like I said, though, if you look at a lot of those gator performers, they'll stick their heads in the gator's mouth all day long, and it won't do anything. It literally has to be like physically touched, just the tiniest little hair touch, and they'll snap their mouth shut. But if you watch the video on that guy, though, he talks about how he wiped his head right before he did it, and he didn't get his whole face, and he felt the drip go off the side of his head, and it hit the gator's mouth. And that was it. Fucking gator had him by the head, but he ended up surviving that. Luckily, the gator didn't do a fucking gator roll and break his neck. You know, they do that death roll shit.
Well, it can only do that in the water, so you're better off doing anything out of the water, so it can't do that.
That's why I'm saying he was lucky he wasn't in the water, because that thing would have twisted his head right off.
Mm.
They do it sometimes on land, but it's not that quick, fast motion. I have seen them flip over on their backs, so like roll on land, but it's very slow though because they don't have the buoyancy of the water.
Mm.
I said that
Did
lady.
you guys?
Oh, go ahead, Lance.
I was going to say, did you guys see that New York Yankee break his ankle last night?
No.
Oh, geez.
What happened?
So he was sliding into home plate, and he missed the plate, and he came back to tag the plate, and he sat on his foot, and it twisted it backwards. It was pretty gross. It's kind of the Joe Theismann, you know, you remember when Joe Theismann broke his fibula, or Alex Smith? It was that type of deal. It was really gruesome. And he laid there. He laid there and crawled to the plate to touch the plate so he was safe, and then just started crying. I mean, it looked like it was painful.
Who was the one UFC fighter that broke his leg in the fight? Andrea, what's his name? Andrea Silver or something like that? I think he was the one that, he completely broke his fucking femur bone or whatever your bottom leg bone is. Completely snapped it in half. I can't remember what his damn name is.
I think the femur's top part of your leg.
Yeah, whatever the bottom bone is where he broke it.
It's where the femoral artery is.
Like you see him come down on the mat, and it just funny. You can see that it's broke when he comes down on the mat with it.
Because you got your tibia and fibia.
Let me see what his name. Because it was a really famous fight. They were really famous fighters. Sweden.
Oh man.
Anderson Silver. That was his name. I know it was something Silver.
Hey Justin, why you do that to that cop, man? Every time that cop walked by the bush, you flip that thing out and hit him.
Oh, dude, that's the thing though. Like that would be funny as shit, but they don't come out that fast. Slow. Like,
Yeah, they don't.
Dude, if that was the case, dude, we would have students by now. Because there's a couple students that when the bus, they walk towards the back of the bus. I've had to tell a couple of them to stay away from the bus when they're walking by it, when they're going backwards or walking behind it. They get up right next to the curb, right where the stop signs and shit are sticking out.
On some of our cars in like the 50s and the 40s, they had trafficate, which
They have
was
what?
trafficators. You know, like now you call them a turn signal, we'd call them an indicator. But in the old days, they actually used to be spring-loaded, pointed things that used to flip out from the center A column.
Oh, wow. So there were little flags or something on the sides of the cars.
The little like your
Not a flag.
like your stop signs on your buses, just
Yeah.
them. But with arrows to indicate which direction you're going.
Yeah.
Common across. I don't think American cars had that. I've never seen them.
I don't think I've ever seen an American car that had those.
Because I think back in the day they just didn't have turn signals. I don't think.
But if you look at things like maybe a 1950s Morris Minor, or a Ford Pop, the Ford Popular.
Wait, another. Where,
They might have had them on things like the Model B. But probably the only ones you've got left of them are hot rods.
My son Justin did get a call from Slidell.
Uh-huh.
He's in the 3 that got moved forward. Now they're waiting. Listen to this. Now they're moving it forward. Now they're doing the background check.
Yeah, that's sensible.
They should have did the background check first.
Yeah.
So when
He's
did
freaking
they
out.
tell him when he should hear anything, or
They said it could take up to a month.
holy crap?
He's freaking out. He's got like $800 to his name.
Well,
And in the apartment complex that he pays $600 a month for, since he's not an officer right now, he's got to pay full rent, $1,400.
So, well, he's always got you.
No, I don't have me. I don't have it. I'm at the point where I don't even know if I'm gonna get to football season. I'm not buying anything. This happens every year for me. About this time, it's always this is where my tight time is. And I wouldn't be tight this year if I wouldn't have gave my daughter that $1,900.
Yeah.
We did the loan for it that I'm paying back. She's not paying. So,
Unfortunately, the bank of dad.
yeah, the Bank of Dad just went bankrupt.
Yeah, you'll have to do the Bank of Nick now.
Well,
Bank of
Nick helped his brother one time, you know.
Hmm.
And Nick's gonna be on the ship for 3 weeks, so they ain't gonna be able to help him again right now. But his girlfriend did say, "Why don't you just move in here till you get back on your feet?" And he says, "I don't know if I want to do that." I said, "Dude, just listen to her. Listen to what she's saying."
What, Justin's girl?
Yeah, Justin's girlfriend. Yeah, because they're more they see each other every day now. They're more or less an item again, but they haven't committed to it. Like they haven't come out and said, "Yeah, we're an item," but they're together every time they're off.
Well, even if he stays at his girlfriend's, he's still going to have to pay rent at his other place or he'll lose it.
No, he's gonna lose the other place.
Move out.
He's gonna have to get out the other place. Now, I told him, I said, even if they hire you this week or next week, you're still gonna not have the money. But he's got my sister-in-law's daughter works in the oil business. and she goes out and they work with like thermal imaging with cameras. And she goes, they measure pipes to see if there's any deficiencies in them. And they're hiring 3 people right now. And she said, if you send me a resume real quick, I'll get you in there and you might be able to get hired next week.
Hey,
Like that.
is he gonna do it?
Well, she makes right now $48 an hour. Is what she makes. But he'll start at $28 an hour. And he works 4 days a week, 10-hour days. And then when he gets to, they do turnarounds where they got to work like 14 days straight. It's like double time money and all of this stuff. When she works her turnarounds that like 2 to 3 weeks, she makes about $20,000. He says, I don't care about being a cop if I'm making enough money.
That's right.
I want to be a cop. I want to make the money.
Mm.
I said, well, do what you got to do.
Do they give discounts for cops living in the apartments there?
Yeah, he gets a discount, but he was a cop, but he's no longer active duty cop. So now he's got to pay the regular rent. That's
Oh,
what he's
dude.
freaking out with.
I remember when I was living in North Carolina, the apartment complex my sister was living in started getting really bad. So they
Yeah.
were offering half off the rent for any cops that wanted to live there. Next thing you know, there was like 15 cops living in there, and they were doing all these like walking patrols around the fucking apartment complex all
Well,
day
that's
long.
what he does. And what he needs to do, he needs to go in there and say, well, I'm on a lease. I'm
That
not
part-
working right now. The lease ought to still go through. The lease is over.
The apartment complex cleaned up pretty fucking quick, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, just make him a security guy there.
That's all they were doing. They were told that they could get half off rent, so they were only paying like $400 or $500 a month for like a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah,
It's
he's got a
super cheap.
2-bedroom and he got a 1-bedroom and he pays $600.
And that was the agreement they had with the cops, is they had to walk at least once a day for an hour around the complex. And I kid you not, there was like 15 cops that moved in there. Like all of a sudden, you've seen all these cop cars parked in there, and that apartment complex cleaned up real fucking quick because all these people started moving out.
Right. I think he's going to get this job. It's
Yeah, but don't they
it's
only
just
get,
taking too long.
don't cops only get paid? Don't they do that monthly payment where they only get paid once a month?
No, he get paid twice a month, but then he gets once a month he gets state pay. So
Yeah,
but
but then he's also going to have to probably, depending on when he starts, he might have to hold his first paycheck, and you know how
well,
they do that.
no, they don't
Some
hold.
jobs.
They really don't.
Some
Because
jobs will hold your first
yeah,
paycheck.
they don't hear it. In 2 weeks, you get a check. You know, if he works a week, the following week he'll get a check like that. So they more or less he's only in the middle of a check cycle. But
'Cause, yeah,
if he's not out of work for a few months, he'll get state pay and they'll backdate it to his last state pay. So if he can get hired this month, he might still pick up the $1,800 for the $600 for 3 months.
yeah, because
Or it might just be $600, but take it, you know.
when I worked for Walmart and the gas company, they both held my first paycheck. So I was always a paycheck behind, like, and then if you quit or contract end or fired or whatever, you would still have one paycheck that would come in 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because, you know, if you're in between jobs and you start a new job, you know, you got to wait an extra 2 weeks before you get any pay, which kind of sucks. But
Yeah, I'm just mad that I'm not in a position to be able to help him until he does something, you know.
Yeah, but it does mean that when you leave that job, you end up with double pay because they
no,
then
they don't. They don't give it all to you at once. You'll get the check just as if you were still working. So
Yeah.
you would get that, like, say you quit that, like on that Friday, you would get that check, but then you wouldn't get the next check for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They don't give it all to you. Like at least the 2 jobs I had that they did that, they didn't give it to you all on your last paycheck. You still had to wait just like if you were a regular employee.
Mm.
Oh, How old is your son, Joe? Dustin Wallaby.
26.
I thought you were asking me, my bad.
Yeah, he's 26, and he's 26. My other son in the Marine is 28, and my daughter's 30.
So he still ain't found out if he got it yet, huh?
Well, according to the guy that trained him, is that he's got the job as long as the background check comes back.
Well, that should come back fine.
Yeah, I know. That's what don't make
That's
sense.
That's what's so stupid. Like he literally was already working for a police department. The state already knows his background. They
I
shouldn't
know,
have
yeah.
to do another one a month between jobs. I mean, really?
Well, and the other thing too that's really crazy, Justin, is they said it could take up to a month to do a background check. What?
No, theirs might be a federal, not a state. The federal
Still,
does take long.
a federal could come back in a day.
I mean, it could. It just depends on what.
Well,
firm
they're a police
using.
department. What do you think that if they do a background check on anybody, it takes a month? No way.
No, I'm
No,
not saying
no.
it should take that long, but federal background checks tend to take longer anyway, because they literally have to run you through every single state and territory to make
Yeah.
sure you don't
When
have anything.
background check, it'll throw in the fact that he has the internal affairs investigation.
Well, he already told them about that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
asked him what was the internal, because he told them that he left, because he was being put in internal affairs. And they asked him what were your internal affairs for. He told them 3 accidents.
Now there are.
Nobody
a lot
said
of-
Draymond. Nobody said Dre's name. So how's Beetlejuice here?
Beetlejuice? What? Dre, is that what he calls you, Beetlejuice?
No. Oh, there he is.
Anyway,
No, I was just hearing the conversation.
Hi, Dre.
What normally happens in a police background check is not just for criminal offenses. They will check your credit rating also. They also would interview people where you live at and ask them questions about your behavior at home. Has there been any loud parties? If he lives with somebody, they'll ask if there have been domestic issues where there's been yelling and screaming. All these different things take place in a background check for somebody trying to be an officer. So it's not just for other criminal activity. It is a full background check on your life, period.
But Dre, my only question to you, Dre, is he's already gone through all that where he works now.
Doesn't matter.
an officer.
There are officers because of domestic violence issues who I know here in California, they can't carry a gun. So that would prohibit them from even trying to apply for another department within this state.
Yeah.
So like I said, there's a lot of things that go on in a police department background check of another officer who's trying to get on with your department. Some officers can't go anywhere else because of their credit history.
Yep. See, I
Yeah,
thought he was gonna.
If you got bad credit, you're subject to you could be taking
bribe.
bribes or whatever.
Bribe.
Yeah,
All kind of things because you're
Yeah.
trying to make up your financial situation.
the sheriff's
maybe-
department
maybe-
does
maybe
that
Your
around here.
credit score can be a failing thing in the background. If you
Yeah,
got
police
bad
depart-
credit, you may be passed over.
That's one of the requirements for the sheriffs and local police here. You have to have a certain credit
Maybe they'll
rating.
just put a restriction on him driving a Hellcat, seeing as how he's crashed his 3 times.
No, he crashed the Hellcat once.
Yeah.
No,
I
he
mean,
actually
it's
he
gonna be a
never
number-
crashed that. It was
Like I
once.
said, there's going to be any number of things that could pop up, but they have to investigate it as part of his background. And that's why I say it may take a month. My fastest background, because I work for 3 different departments, was only a month long. Usually it could take about 2 to 3 months.
And
Depends,
it-
like I say, and usually a lot of times, some departments, if they have the budget, they will hire an outside investigator, not within the department itself. It'll be somebody else who's conducting the background investigation. So
I'm
in other words,
assuming they send
somebody
like
who's unbiased.
I'm assuming they send a lot of those probably what to like some federal agency like the FBI or something. To do
No,
like a
it might
national.
be. I say if he works for a city, they might have an investigator from the county, or something like that, or another investigator from another agency may do
Well, I
it.
mean,
If
it's
they
like
don't have,
anything.
if they don't
Government
have the
agencies are
money
just slow.
to do it themselves. So I'm just saying that this is the extent of your background investigation with law enforcement, and anything that could pop up in your background can trip you up.
Yep.
Well,
It's
it's
not
like
just
any,
them checking to see if you got outstanding warrants and the rest of stuff. It gets deep down into your personal life, and you sign a waiver form to allow them to do that.
well,
Yep.
and think about it too. It's like any other government agency. It's slow.
Great Brenda wishes you a good day. Hope you
Yeah.
had a good
Hello,
have a
hello,
good-
Brenda.
Brenda,
Yeah,
Brenda.
that's what I heard you guys talking about. Say so. A month is a very short amount of time. Very short.
Well, when you consider I had to be DBS checked for my charity event, and I'm not even contacting anyone related to that charity, like anyone that's been a victim of domestic abuse.
Mhm.
All I'm contacting is the people that run the charity. I'm not getting involved in anything else. I still had to be checked, and that took 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I can't imagine what a police officer would have to go through.
Yeah. So, like I said, a good investigator will actually go out, talk to neighbors, maybe a few people that he put down as reference people, because they ask you for at least anywhere from 4 to 8 reference people to contact. And like anybody else, you're going to pick, friends, neighbors. If you're religious, you're going to pick your pastor and all these kind of folks who are going to say nothing but good things about you, but they also want to talk to somebody who may not say good things about you.
I think reference people would have been the interview panel.
Yeah.
Well,
So I mean, there's a
and
lot,
work-
there's a lot to go into. Cause people don't realize anybody you hire in your department becomes a liability for not just the department, but an entire city or county. So you're
Yep.
hiring bad apples, it could cost a city or county a lot of money. If somebody goes out there and does something stupid.
They still do
The guy,
the
the interview panel was the guy that trained him at college.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's why you don't want, you want people you really don't know.
Justin, did you
That
see
way
what
everything's up
Russell
and up.
put in the chat?
yeah. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, the bottom line is he came out #1 in fire department, #1 in the police department. They know
Yeah.
him. They tried to get him over before. So I just hope they push this thing a little faster.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the fastest I ever went through, it was Fontana PD. They had me processed in under 3 months.
Let me ask you something, Dre. If say you're in a IA for like a policy violation that wasn't really a criminal offense,
Mhm.
if you just go ahead and resign before they fire you or do anything, does that AI investigation just go away? Or
Well, he
No.
wasn't
Not
put. He
criminal?
wasn't put in it. They didn't put him in.
okay,
They were
Well-
going to. They said you got a choice before we put you in. You could resign,
Yeah,
and that
like I
was
say,
based on.
that's
the
that
speeding part.
agency's decision and what they did. But
Yeah.
like you say, he went in and said there was an IA investigation. So guess what? That department's got to produce that IA investigation now.
Well, he did. He was in the first IA investigation for the 3 accidents,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't in any other ones. He wasn't pending any.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That if he mentioned it in his interview, that department's got to produce it.
Well, yeah, one of them asked him,
Yeah.
"Why were you in IA?"
What's going to happen
that.
is they can come back and say, well, there's inconsistencies in your background information.
Well, this is the thing. He never told them, and he didn't write anything about being in IA, but they knew about it already, so they asked him,
Right.
and he told them what it was, and
Mhm.
he told them exactly what it was about, almost word for word.
Yeah.
So they already know about it, and they
Yeah.
started laughing and said, "Yeah, we wouldn't even put you in for these 2 little minor accidents."
But-
I don't know why they did.
but
Yeah.
if they gave him the opportunity to resign before they started the investigation, then there was really no investigation, right?
That's on the next one. that they were
Yeah.
gonna do because he was on a different side of, he was a little bit out of where he was supposed to be because he had got permission to go pick up his keys. And he went and picked up the keys and a call came out and he was hurrying back, speeding back to it. And they said, well, you were speeding to the call. He said, I was backing up an officer. He said, but you were coming from over there, not where you're supposed to be. And he said, I had it over the radio that proved that this is where I was. They told me to go do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they were just trying to find something. That's all they were doing. You know, Dre, when they try to find something, they'll find something, you know?
Right. Like I say, once information is out there, that's their job to have the background investigator to go thoroughly, go look up, talk to who he needs to talk to find out, is the story consistent?
Yeah.
What gets people not hired, don't pass background, is inconsistency in their stories.
All right.
So it's not so much about the incident itself or what actually happened, it's to what does the story match up from all elements that are involved.
Yeah.
So that's the big
Well, I'll
thing.
put it like this. He was a good cop. I hate to see him not be one, you know?
Yeah. So that's the whole thing is that when you do the background, all your information has to match up.
Dusty said they just fired 3 deputies here, or for, I guess, up in his area for being lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the things they said about Justin. They said, if a call came out and it was like 2 of y'all out there, you tell, I got it. You always take it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that he tried to let anything go by.
Right.
You know, I'll put it like this, from everybody I talked to that worked with him said that they hated to see him ever do this because they said he was one of the best on the department.
Yeah.
So it's like, it sucks.
And like I said, this all might just be part of the formality of going through the hoops, making sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, so nobody can come back and say that something wasn't done appropriately when they hired him.
Right.
So like I said, go through the normal process as if they don't know him, so no one can come back and say something else.
Just want to
Yeah.
say,
Right.
like I
riveting
say-
conversation, Lance, and Paul's left again.
Edward
Well,
and Jim
Paul
are
always
having their
leaves.
own conversation in the chat there about racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I say,
I don't blame him.
a month, 2 months, that's short. Because a normal background investigation on a person who's never been in law enforcement is usually around 4 to 6 months.
But you see the other thing too. They said when he put the stuff in, they were waiting on a background check. First thing. So before he even got to the second with the board, they said they were doing the background check.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
they
that's what
already
doesn't
made
make sense to me, because they said that could take a month ago. He's at 6 weeks right now.
Yeah.
You know,
I know the last one I had done was at Fontana PD. They started my background right around the same time I took the polygraph.
They're still
And
doing
a
those
lot of
here,
times
too.
that's when they compare, information. What the polygraph is never 100% accurate by any means. But like I said, you're just comparing information. Is all it is.
Yeah, because you can't even use
Information.
those in a court case.
Right.
Those
So I
aren't
mean,
even
I
admissible.
caught the background investigator coming through my neighborhood. They're doing it on me. But like I said, his car didn't look familiar. He didn't look familiar. And I walked up on him at the mailbox and said, "What are you doing?" So he had to give me ID and tell him who he was.
but who the F are you?
Yeah, I was like, "Who are you?" So like I say, I mean, a month is nothing, dude. Month and a half. I say 2 months, no big deal. If it goes over 3 months, then there's a problem.
Oh yeah, I agree.
If it goes over 3 months, then it's a problem of them trying to make a decision. Do we want to take a chance on him or not?
That's when you start getting money together to send them to the Caymans.
Well, the only thing that gets me is, like I said, I wouldn't care if it took 3 months if he was okay and I wouldn't have to worry about him. And you know, you got to worry about your kids.
Yep.
You know, I'm trying not to worry about him because he was doing everything right. He was doing everything right.
Mm-hmm.
And he just got a bad break because one guy had the mouth off at the place and got put in IA by 3 of him and 2 other officers and then threatened, said, "I'm gonna get y'all."
Told
Mhm.
you, send him down here to
And-
Grady.
You know, he said, "I'm gonna get y'all because of this."
Mm.
And I heard from two of the other officers all the corruptness that was there about how a couple of the people weren't doing their annual qualifications with the weapons and everything else, which is getting signed off on, and that he had all this information over these people. And he said, "Well, I'm gonna just turn them in unless I come back to work." So his IA got squashed.
Hmm.
And before he came back, they were gonna put Justin back in. That's when Justin backed out.
Yeah, folks getting complacent, getting lazy. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I always like training. That's just me. Some folks think it's a annoyance, waste of their time or whatever. Anytime training came up, I volunteered to go to class. I'll go to advanced officer training. I'll go to hand-to-hand training. I'll go to whatever training is in. I'll go.
And how many times we went to training in the Corps? Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. It's something I just, built in me. Say, go to any training class they offer. Eat it up. Eat it up.
Yep.
Yeah. But, my thing, Joe, going back with your son and what you have told us, I had my concerns when you were telling me about the steroid stuff. And you talking about it was department wide.
Oh, it's department wide.
And that's to me, that's a big red flag because steroids affect people, each individual person differently.
Mm.
And that's what I'm saying about, people have these going to rages or whatever, being on steroids. Some folks lose control emotionally. And I said, being a police officer out there on the streets, your emotions go from 0 to 100 in an instant. And if you don't have full control of your anger, fear, and everything else, anything can go wrong.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And I said that's my was concerned when you're talking about that scenario there, and he was involved. I said, dude, get off that stuff, man, because you don't want to have something go.
I know he hasn't
sideways.
used it in a while.
Yeah, I said you don't want nothing to go sideways, and somebody starts poking in and find out that quite a few officers are using this substance and part of their physical training.
Yeah.
I said
I know it's probably been about 6 to 8 months he hasn't done it.
Good.
And he hits the gym and works his butt off, but he said he stopped doing it
Good.
because he was having side effects that were giving him some side effects that he didn't like.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was just saying. It affects different people different ways, but there's always going to be side effects.
And I actually watched the body cam footage of your son. He's big enough to where he don't need to keep going.
Oh yeah, he don't need to keep going.
Yeah.
Like I said, the other day he was doing 100-pound curls, and he he did like 25 on each arm, and then he had it was 455 on the shoulders where you go down and come back up the shoulder presses.
Yeah.
He did like 450 or something like that. He did like 3 reps of that.
Mm-hmm.
He did some bench the other day. No, it was just pulling up the straight jerk up.
Yeah.
225, 20 of those at 225. So you don't need to do no more shit. Just keep doing what you're doing.
That was 20 times he was lifting Joe up when he got mouthy.
I'm a little bit heavier.
Yeah. I wish him all the best. I just wish he would took your advice and took that job on that boat. You'd have a little money sitting in his pocket.
Well, I don't know if you heard what he's doing. He's sending a resume to my sister-in-law's daughter that works in the oil field. They're hiring 3 people right now. They got 3 spots.
Yeah.
And they go out and all they do is they work with thermal cameras and they check the pipes to make sure there's no, something you do.
Right.
And just to start, they're training them and starting them at like $30 an hour.
Yeah.
And it's 4 days a week. And they do turnarounds. Like she's making, she got so many certifications down, and she's making like $50 an hour.
Yeah.
And her husband's making more than that. and they go out on turnarounds and make $15,000-$20,000 on a 2-3
Yeah,
week
but let me
basis.
ask you, what's the trade-off? Because usually high paying jobs, usually that means you either don't have a home life or you're gone all the time. Like, what's the
Well,
trade-off?
she's gone like 2 weeks, then she's back for 2 weeks of working regular hours.
Yeah,
Then
there
she'll
you
go on a
that's all.
turnaround for 2 weeks to make the money if they need her. She'll go to
That's
make
it.
the money.
I'm not saying that
Mhm.
it's not a bad thing, but there's always some downside to a high paying job like that. Usually it means you're going to be gone a lot, or, I mean, if you're somebody like your son that doesn't have kids, that's great. But
Yeah.
if you got a family, it kind of sucks.
But the girlfriend yesterday, because he's stressed, because he is stressed about it.
Mhm.
And I said, dude, just chill out, go by your girlfriends, y'all cook. He's been eating over there. She's been buying the food, so you don't have to spend any money. And he's there every day. This is the girlfriend that don't know if they're together. Okay.
Mhm.
But they haven't been out of each other's sight for 3 months. Okay. So she said, I know you're stressed and I know all this is going on. It could take another month. She says, and I know you're probably she says, why don't you just get out the apartment, move in here? And he said,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Well,
I said, well, then
I can kind of agree with that fact after that last relationship he was in. He
Oh,
might be
yeah,
a
I
little-
understand
he
that.
might be a
That's
little
him.
gun shy.
But I told him today, I said, listen to her. She's the one that said that she didn't want you ever to move in unless y'all knew y'all were going to be a thing. And
Mhm.
she's hasn't committed. And the other day she was somewhere, she was somewhere the other day. And this woman walked, they were at a family event, right?
Mhm.
One on my side of the family. And she came to it and she was out there and one of them came out and looked over at her and said, so y'all engaged yet? She goes, no, we're just really not a thing yet. She goes, well, girl, you better listen. That's a fine man right there. You better hook him up before somebody else does. Like this. And she said they've had 3 or 4 people tell her that. Her mom has told her that. You
Mhm.
better forget. You better you better say something to him before you lose him.
Well,
So maybe I told her, I said, Justin, listen, you might have to suck it up and do it. I said, but just think. I said, you can always move back in here like you did before.
yeah, that's
said-
what I'm saying. He's got options. Move with her, move back with you for a minute till he gets
Well,
yeah.
get this whole situation settled, get his money built back up again.
But he said to me, he said, that means I got to rent a storage unit, move all that stuff back out, move all my stuff back in. And I know you're not going to pay for the storage unit. I said, oh, hell no.
well,
You will pay the storage unit.
well, a storage unit would be cheaper than what he's paying in rent.
Yeah, his storage unit, when he had one, he had all my stuff in the storage I didn't need right here. And it was like $80 a month.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he just, like you said, Joe, he's got to suck it up, make a decision, deal with what's going on, and like I say, look at those other options because right now, even though everybody tells you great things,
Yeah.
but none of them are the ones that make the decision.
you got a point. I know.
So
But
he
it's-
better look at the oil field option, the be on the boat option, just in case. He's a young guy.
That's what I told him. I said, go get something.
I can say, go get something instead of sitting right here having nothing.
the thing is, if he's going to go be a cop again, it's like you said, he's got, like Dre said too, he's got to make sure he can break that lease without fucking his credit up.
Well, he's gonna have to break the lease. That's the whole problem.
He's going to have
Yeah.
to pay some kind of penalty for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said,
Yeah,
I hope everything works out for him. But like you said,
that's
don't put all your eggs in one basket. Look at
that's
other
what he did.
things. And like I said, don't look at other things so you have options so you're not sitting here sweating bullets every day you wake up and you don't get an answer that you want.
Yeah.
Oh, did DJI get back with you today, Joe?
No,
Oh,
so
here we
it's
go
been a
then.
week. A week they've had the drone, so I'm gonna go batshit on them tomorrow. I'm gonna call them tomorrow.
Well,
And I'm gonna say, okay.
We'll talk to y'all later. I'm about to go home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dre, have a
Enjoy
good
it,
night.
Dre.
Dre.
Yeah, because they need
But
to.
I'll call them up tomorrow and I'll say, okay, look, there's no reason it should be taking this long when y'all got the flight records and you got the drone. You need to figure out what you're gonna do. I said, because I don't want to go to another level.
Yeah, because if you would have just sent it in for a simple trade out, you would have had a new drone on the way by now.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell them the bottom line is that you know as well as I know that the drone failed to avoid me.
I really think they took it to their legal team, and that's what's taking so long.
Oh, I do too. So give me a number. You know? Give me a number.
But see, you should. But see, you didn't really pay any medical bills, though. You didn't have to pay a copay or anything, did you? Your insurance paid
Stress.
for
Stress. Mental anguish.
it.
You know? So I don't know. I'll just see what happens.
Yeah, I think they took it to their legal team, and that's why they're taking so long. They're trying to get a response back from them on what to do. Now, when you call and talk to them, do you talk to the people in Texas or what? Or is it some call center?
I don't know where
overseas?
she's at. I don't know where.
Well, wasn't an American you were talking to?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh yeah, back when Winston Cigarettes sponsored NASCAR in the olden days. Don't see that anymore.
Shit, I gotta go find me a roster. I can't remember the spelling of somebody's name. Some of the weird names. What football roster?
When did the Winston Cup end? That was like back in early 2000s, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Or late 90s, I think.
Oh, Luke DeMillo.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it because there's only 5 people watching.
No, there's not.
Well,
There's 8 people.
There's 8 people.
Mine says 5.
Mine said 6, and now it's down to 5.
Oh yeah, it just went drop down to 5.
But we're still chatting. Well, trying. Joe wants to shout out to Let's Talk. I'm joking, Joe.
I'm about to jump off in a second anyway.
Just because Laura didn't tell me to shut up.
Actually, she just said, tell Joel to shut up.
All right.
Well, hey, you guys can do
Oh, and Justin, you got to shut up too.
Okay, Justin. Hey, thanks for coming in, buddy.
All right, I'll catch y'all later.
Okay.
Catch you later. Well, if you're going to call it, you're going to call it.
We're going to pack it in.
Yeah, figures.
Okay, Joe.
Well, Dominic said he'd be here shortly.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did earlier on.
Yeah, but that's not shortly. That was like an hour ago. Okay, everybody. Hey, thanks for being here. We'll see all of you again tomorrow.